So the Quranic, the project that we're working on now, the Quranic syllabication, we are giving it to Sister Robin each first Sunday in parts. And inshallah, she will have it on the Mosque site's webpage. Eventually, inshallah, we will have the entire Quran syllabicated. That is showing you in the Arabic language, not with, what do they call that? Transliteration, where they try to give you the sounds of the Arabic with English letters. That can't be done. No one can do it. As good as I am, I can't do that. No, seriously, the reason why we can't do it is because there are certain sounds.
No, this is the one.
Okay, there are certain sounds, certain letters in the Arabic alphabet that there is no English equivalent. That is, so therefore, if there's no equivalent, no letter to match it, what are you going to do? That's when you have letters we have there. You see transliteration trying to mean Arabic written with English letters. That's what we mean by transliteration. I mean, they wrote Arabic with English letters. And you see letters with dots and lines on it. They're trying to tell you, hey, we ain't got no letter for it, but I'll put this dot over so you know I'm using this DH here, but it's really not a DH, or I'm using A here, but it's really not an A. So those are the things that we avoid. And the syllabication system, which just for your quick review, remember this is going to be what you see here. These are the Arabic sounds. These are all the sounds that there are in the language. That's and short then and e, and oo. All right. No, I was dealing with diphthongs. I knew something wasn't coming out right. Okay. All right, let's see. Here it was going, I had it going down this way. Short sounds are e, oo. See, I can't read upside down, I had it upside down, and I couldn't do it myself. And then the long sounds, e, oo. And then the diphthongs, e, oo, ooey, oo. All right? And so that's what we already have given Sister Robin, along with, I think we have about 9 pages already. These are the syllables. This is syllable type 1 here, and then these are syllable type 2. These are syllable type 3, and then this is syllable type 4. And there are only 4 types of syllables in the language. So we'll be hitting that lightly just as a review for you, but it's already recorded on the website, and even have begun syllabicating the Holy Quran. What I want to say to you today, I should have said it first, but I want to start excuse me, from the Quran. The first one is what Allah says about the Arabic, because some of us have not quite as positive an attitude as we should have about the Arabic language. You have translation, and we're pretty much satisfied. When I can read the translation, why can't I read the translation? It's like the alphabet. There's some Arabic alphabets that there is no English equivalent, and there are some words in Arabic that there's no English equivalent. You have to almost write a book to try to explain what the word means, all right? And all of them, any word in Arabic almost, requires more than one word in English, okay? So I just want to say what Allah says first, which is, and He says it more than one time, but I remember it from the 12th chapter, as you said, the 12th chapter, and the 2nd verse. And He says there, أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إني أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون. That's what Allah says about that. He's talking about the Arabic. إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. Surely we have revealed it in Arabic Quran. And Yusuf Ali's translations say that you may learn wisdom. I gave you a better explanation of that ta'qilun that although it does mean wisdom, I tell you how the wisdom comes. Because if you take a word just like that talkaloon and just say mean wisdom, and you don't know the process, you don't get the full meaning of it. You know, oh, that talkaloon is wisdom. How come? I thought Hakeem was wisdom. You see? And they both are wisdom, but from different directions. Talkaloon means wisdom by way of making the connections. Hakeem means wisdom by way of wise judgment, all right? So making the connections is very significant. So that's what Allah says. He says he has revealed it in Arabic Quran that you might make the connections. And then I want to say this to you, because sometimes I get involved in something that I'm probably not qualified to do, but I start reading expressions. And I said, boy, they ain't paying no attention to me at all. You might be paying a lot of attention, but I do want to say this. The prophet is told this in the 89th chapter and the 21st and 22nd verses. The 21st verse says, فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ. And then the 22nd verse says, لَسْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمُسَيْطِرٍ. 21. فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ. فَذَكِّرْ. Then give the reminder. فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ. إِنَّمَا. Surely that's what you are. One to give the reminder. You are one to admonish and give the reminder. Then it says, the 22nd verse says, لَسْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمُسَيْطِرٍ. You are not a keeper of affairs. You're not a keeper of their affairs. As a matter of fact, one translator, I think it was Pickthall, he translated that you are not a warden over them. You don't have to keep them straight. So I want to let you know, I feel pretty good. I do the best that I can. And I shared with you, as well as the group that we have on the Lifeline, that the way I see myself, I am a much better student than I am a teacher. So what I try to share with you is the techniques that I use to study. And hopefully you will use them, and you may get more out of it, the system, than I do. All right? See, it's all set up in a system. So what we're going to deal with today, and we're starting today in building vocabulary. I've had people asking me for years about vocabulary. They probably could have a dictionary full of words by now if they had used this system that they wanted me to use. But that's not, I'd use this system. But what they wanted me to do was just give them words. And I don't do that. I show you how words are developed. Then that way you should never learn one Arabic word at a time. If you do, you're moving with a yoke around your neck. In other words, you are hampering yourself. You are running with lead shoes on. And you know how much progress you can make. You know, back in my younger years, we used to have some stuff we put around our ankles, weights to walk around with. So when you can kick, when you kick that, like after you take them off, you kick much harder. You know. Well, I put something like that on me now, I wouldn't be able to move. But we had 5 pound and 10 pound ankle weights that you put on. Okay. But anyway, that's what you're doing if you learn. I just want to know what this word. Never want to know what one word. Don't allow yourself. If you want to know what the word means, yes, say you want to know what this word means. I want to know what all the words that's related to it mean. Because the only way you can look it up is in the dictionary is you have to go to the root word. And that's where the syllabication comes in, because it'll help you find the root word. And so I put these letters up here, these green letters. These are letters that you should be mindful of. They are letters that are used to make root words into bigger words. I'm not telling you that these words are not these letters. How many are there? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 letters. This is a letter over here also. I'm not telling you that they are never in words. But there are certain places where if these letters show up, then you should be concerned. If this letter and this letter this letter, and this one. If they show up at the beginning of a word, that's the prefix. That's what they're prefixes. The other letter, this one can show up either at the beginning or at the end. But I'm just giving you an example. So what I'm saying is watch for these. You say, well, I don't know those letters. I mean, I don't know the names. You have to know the names, just know what they look like. All right? And know that the purpose that they serve. These letters here can be put together in the order that they are to spell a word. And I'm going to spell that word because it will help you to remember how they're used. Taking these letters just the way they have them. Lam, ya, ta, sa, nu. All right. Now I finish up the letters first. Dots are part of the letter. If the letter has a dot on it, that's a part of the letter. Okay, now it's written now, but I haven't put any vowels on it. This is what this letter looks like when it's connected. This is what this letter looks like when it's in the middle of a word. This is what this letter looks like in the middle of a word. This is what this letter see no tail on it. And then this letter looks like this in the middle of a word. And this letter looks like this in the middle of a word. And of course this one can only be either by itself or at the end of the word. See, I couldn't connect it to this letter here. It will not accept connection on the left. This word has meaning. La, ya, ta, sam. Now put a shat down, make two. Sam, nu. Samana. So what happens now is this becomes a root word here. Samana. Here's the root word. I'm showing you how all this over here now, even though this is all of these letters that we add to make prefixes, infixes, and suffixes. But now I've taken these letters and I'm using these letters here. This word is sa, ma, na. That would be the root word for that word. Sa. And if you look that word up, it would mean to grow fat. So that's why I introduced the word to you. A brother from Detroit is the one that brought that to my attention. Samana means to grow fat. So we use these letters to make root words fat, make them bigger, okay? You see how that kind of going to help you to remember that samana means to grow fat. This means to or for. This means third person, like them. And this means to seek it for the one who's doing it. So let them, for themselves, make themselves fat. All right, let the words make themselves fat. Okay, so I just share that. That's just a little kind of like a rhyme to help you recall the process. So I'm going to erase this menu now and begin our process of Quranic vocabulary building. I'm keeping a list, so I won't get up here each first Sunday and repeat what I have given already. I'm going to deal with words that you're familiar with first. Hopefully that will help you to retain it. One of the things that we say that we do, we say we believe, right? And a believer is a what? A mu'min. So I'm going to use that. All of us consider ourselves to be mu'min. A mu'minun, which is the plural for mu'min, which is a believer, mu'min. So here's the word mu'min. That is a believer. That's us, right? Each one of us is a mu'min. Now, I have to start off with some complicated explanation here because the root word for mu'min is amunah. So let me write it up here first, then that way you can see. So this word is coming from, I want to show that this word came from it. So if I do it, well, this would be where it came from, this, right? Yeah, okay. It came from this word, amunah. Amunah. Where is this letter in here? It's not in this word. We don't see it, right? Because any word, any root word that has a vowel letter in it for one of its root letters, that vowel letter can either change to another vowel in words that come in front of that word. It can either change to another vowel or it can disappear altogether. Okay? So before I finish that, I'm going to give you an example of a word that you know already this year. We know the word kul, right? You know, it's a kul. Say. All right, kul. This word kul comes from this word. Kawala. 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 What is the weak letter in here? I'm talking about weak letter. These words are called, the weak letter is here. Wow. Wow. Because you have your three vowels are a, e, and u. Any one of those letters are root words, and it can be either short vowel or long. These are the long vowels. It can be short or long. Then that word will be called a weak verb. And it's called weak because that letter that makes it weak can either change from this to this, or lose it altogether. So that's what I'm going to use this word kawala to show you. This is the weak letter here. All right, kawala. From kawala, we get kul. But before we do that, let's take kawala and let's do it like this. I'm going to erase this and show you something in alphabetical order. Kul should be the last one, but I know you already know that word, so that's why I wrote it up early. Okay, so kawala, from kawala we change the vowel to a, and we get kawala. And that means he said. Kawala. He said. See, the vowel changed to a. Kawala. Then I want to change it to say they said, or you just say it to them. And that would be he that. See what happened? The vowel changed to a and then the ya. Kawala, kawala, kila. And then we finally get rid of it all together. That's when we get kul. All right. So it can either change to another vowel or disappear altogether. That's what we mean by weak. Now, if you try to hold on to that, it will help you a lot because we can't just ignore the words that have weak letters just for convenience sake. You have to just tighten up your belt and go on and say, well, I'm just going to remember. You only got 3 letters to remember. A, E, U. If you see that in a root word, then that means that it's a weak. If it's 2 of them, if it's A and a E, that means that it's double weak. If it's A, E, and U, then that means it's triple weak. And I only know one word that's triple weak, all right? It may be others, but I only know one. Okay, so here, this vowel is not in Amunah. What is here is this. But because the vowel is U, then we're allowed to use this as a C. We're taking it out, and it's going to be what we call sukoon. The first letter is going to be sukooned anyway. Sukoon means we're taking the vowel off of it. So we're taking the vowel off of it, and we just put this little hamza on top of it, and that gets movement. Okay. It could be written another way, but it wouldn't be proper by way of because they have agreed. It could be written like this. And then put the little hamza up there and sukoon. And still be movement. But for housekeeping purposes, they say if whatever the vowel is, then we change it. All right. So okay, so mu'minun. This would mean the same thing as what we have up here already, mu'minun. But we write it like this in order to make the vowel leading into the root letter that has changed. Change it so that it matches up a little bit. All right. So mu'min comes from the word amunah. All right. You got it on?
10.
Huh?
10 minutes.
You got 10 minutes? Oh, okay, all right. I thought I still had an hour and 10 minutes. All right. Okay. So The other thing I want to show you about this root word here, amunah, is that ordinarily the root word would look like this. Amunah, meaning the vowel will be all the way across. That is a word, but the first form of this word was amunah, okay, not amanah. So amanah means to believe. What does amunah mean? Does anybody remember that? Because I've said this before. Maybe you weren't here, but I've said it before. Amunah. Huh? Well, that it does mean that, but that's not how you get secure. That's what we want to get to, because you get secure by being safe, right? You got to escape from danger. That's what somebody remember now, right? Yeah, that's what amunah means, to escape from danger. You won't find many scholars writing on. They just go straight to amanah, to believe. But amunah is the original word. And by the way, hopefully this will help you feel a little better. If anyone has, I meant to bring mine, but I didn't bring it today. And inshallah, I'll try to remember to bring it next time. If you have the dictionary called, that when you get through our community here, called Quranic dictionary, or dictionary of the Quran. Some of them are brown. Okay, it's by, I can't remember. Omar, yeah, by Omar, yes, all right. I found in that dictionary this morning, not looking for it, a mistake in the Arabic. When I say mistake, I don't mean just a little mistake. I mean the wrong word. The phrase, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They say sallallahu, they put sallallahu and sallam with the same, and they're not the same. There's two different words. Sallam, sallah has to do with prayer. That's what salat comes from, salah. That's spelled with saw. Let me show you what it looks like. So some of you guys, you might go home and look at it. You find that thing. Sallallahu, this is sal. Sal, and two. Sallallahu, and then sallallahu. And wasallim is this. Thank you, that's right. Salim. All right? This is prayer and this is peace. That's why I say they say some people, I don't know whether you remember the Imam used to say, people said peace and prayer be upon. No, it's prayer. If you want to just put it like it's prayer and peace. The prayer comes first. Because it's sallallahu alayhi was this dictionary, that dictionary has it sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and is using this word in both of them. Both for sallam and for sallallahu. Okay? I just noticed that this morning. I said, wow. So I said that to you, why? Just because people have been speaking Arabic all of their lives does not mean that they make good teachers. Many of them have not studied it, and they don't study it. They do not study it. We had a brother here, was it this Friday? Was Kareem here this Friday? Little short brother. I think he was this Friday he was here. Anyway, or maybe it was last Friday. It was this Friday. He remembers this. It was two of us working as chaplains at Stateville Correctional Center, full-time chaplains at the same institution. Never happened anywhere else in the country. I won't go into explaining to you how it happened or why it happened. But they thought I was going to, they thought I was going to leave because I had a lawsuit against the state. They thought I was going to leave, and they were going to make sure they didn't replace me with anybody like me. So they went and got this faculty brother who was already working there. And that's how he wound up being chaplain. And I stayed on and retired and got to be the senior chaplain before I retired. But anyway, I was explaining something to him about mutashabihah. And I showed him the root meaning of mutashabihah and how the word comes to mean, an example or something similar. He says to me, brother, he had a heavy voice, and may Allah forgive him, he has made his transition now, but he says, brother, you and me, we talk about Cubs, we talk about White Sox, we don't talk about religion. Because he hadn't studied it and he didn't want to study it. And he couldn't stand to have, I didn't know anything about Arabic. The first thing I remember hearing about Arabic was when I was a little boy down in Arkansas, and I heard my great-grandfather say he never did just tell us the story, but he said he's going to tell us the story about Ahab to Arab. That was all I'd ever heard, all right? So I didn't come here speaking Arabic. Allah just blessed me to see the system, okay? All right. Yes, sir.
Question. When the sod, the hard S is in substitute for the sin, the soft S, what does that word become?
Well, first of all,
and his mistake.
I don't know. I didn't even, because I told you I just did it wrong. I can look it up, but I don't have a dictionary with it and see, because it would be, this is what it would be. He said, and then with the meaning. So I don't know what that is. But I guarantee you it's not close to that. It's neither this nor this. All right. This Selim is from the same root as Muslim. This word here is from the same root meaning as Muslim. Okay. All right. So we're running out of time. But if I had the thought, I would have looked it up, and I will look it up, because I always do things like that. Try to see, well, what are you saying? You know. But I didn't take the time to do it because I was just, wow, I just saw it like this, happened to see it. Okay. All right, so now, this is a weak verb. And we get Mohammed from it. Let's see, I'm going to give you the other words that I have on my list. You get Iman. What is Iman? Anybody know what Iman is? Huh? Faith, that's right. Matter of fact, I run into a lot of young ladies with the name Imam. I asked one lady, she said, I don't know. I think my daddy got that off of Queen Latifah's show. she didn't hear anything about Muslim, because you run into a lot of people have Muslim names out there now. You know? And sometimes they do bad things in Muslim names. But anyway, so the word I want to show you is, the next one is Iman. I want to give you these. Iman. All right. Now, this is a long E. Man. Iman. Imanun. Faith. All right. That's faith. So this is a believer. Let me put that right under here, because you're not taking notes anyway. But I can say, at least I delivered it. And you really don't need to take notes. Because you got, all you have to do is go and get it off of the website, the Mosque website, so you don't have to. Okay. Amen. And that is faith. All right, this is faith. And it's coming from the same word here, amunah. Now, I forgot to explain something to you right quick. Amunah, because a lot of the scholars today, they want to just ignore it and go straight to amanah. All right. Then you're losing a part of the meaning. Because amanah means to believe. But if you didn't know that in order to believe something, you have to what? Trust it. You got to trust it. Who believes in something that they don't trust? Who believes in someone that they don't trust? So you're missing part of the meaning of faith by going straight to amanah, which most of the scholars do. They go straight. You won't find this in all books. You have to really be digging to find amunah. They go straight to amanah, which I just erased. Let me just put it up here. They go straight to this, amanah. And it is a good word, but it was not the first form. The etymology of this word takes you back to here, amunah. Every baby is born trusting. And that's what's so important to remember. That if the ooh is on the root word, and this is what the brother didn't want to discuss. He didn't want to discuss stuff like this with me, because if there's an ooh on the instead of the ah, this is the regular pattern here, on the three root letters. Because most of the root words are three. What they say, they'll confuse you in books. They'll say triliteral. All they mean is three letters. Okay, all right. But if you have that ooh is telling you that whatever the word means, whether it has to do with faith or not, whatever it means, because that can be on any word, it means that the quality of that word is something that is natural or God-given. And trust is God-given. The baby comes here trusting whoever is handling it. If it's mama, and mama get ready to nurse the baby, he don't ask the mama nothing about you ain't been on no crack, have you, mama? He don't bother mama about whatever it is. He trusts that you're doing the right thing. And he learns to distrust. That's why we have to make shahada later on in life to become mu'min. It's because we have learned to distrust. So much so to the example that I used this morning on the Lifeline was my little granddaughter, my present wife's granddaughter. She's about 3 years old. And they live down in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And so she had been somewhere with her, she and her sisters had been somewhere with her daddy. And he came back and he passed right by the house. Well, she trusting daddy to take her home now. When he passed by the house, she said, "What the world? You know, man, I can't trust you. You're supposed to be taking me home." So that's just one little example. Not real bad, but her trust. I thought you were going to take me home and you take me right. What the world? What is this? All right. Okay, let me give you these words. Amen or amen to. This is this is a declaration of faith. Amen to. I believe. Amen to. And that means I believe. Okay, and then we have Amin. You know that's what at the end of the Al-Fatiha we say Amin. Now you know before looking at it like this, all I knew, Amin, was that it means like so be it. You know, Amin. That's the end of the prayer. Amin. But really, when you go back to it, it means what? I trust that. All that you just said, what he said, I trust it. All right. Okay, so our time has run out. And he's saying, you got no more. So inshallah, we will throw the other words up here next time, but I know exactly where we are. And I'm keeping it by pages, so the next word, I'll tell you what the next word is going to be, along with, we're going to finish up Aminu, and then Amunah, and then we're going to go to Salima. And then from Salima, we're going to go to Amma. And we're just going to go on down the list like that. Good words, and that have to do with words that you're already familiar with to get a better understanding of. Thank you very much. May Allah increase us in knowledge. And we say, Rabbi zidni ilma. Rabbi zidni ilma. A'udhu billahi an akuna min al-jahilin. Rabbi habli hukma wal hikni lis-salihin. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. السلام عليكم.